Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video. It's Haros MJ from Habun Codes, and in this video I'll show you how you can fill in your data safety form. Data safety form needs to be filled when you are publishing your mobile app on Google Play Store. If you don't fill in the form, that means your app will not get approved. They're going to reject your app even after 2 days or 3 days. So you have to make sure to tell them how does your app collect data. That is, how does your mobile app collect user data. If your own app collects something like email address, password, and others, then you have to make sure to fill in the form there. If your app does not collect all those data, I'm going to show you how you can do it in the best possible way so as for you to get fast approval on Google Play Store without any app rejection. If you really think this video is a nice idea, by liking this video, you are getting it recommended to another person like you. Subscribe to this YouTube channel for more important updates. Let's dive into the video.
So you have to click on what? Data safety. Data safety, this is a data safety tutorial for you guys. If you want to publish your mobile app to Google Play Store, you have to be very, very careful when you are doing your data safety stuff. This can lead your app to be accepted or rejected, right? So make sure to what? If you are doing this, click on data safety and start filling the data safety form. So you have to be very, very careful when you are doing this. Like, they have rejected some of my apps and I've learned, all through the way. So click on data safety now to get in. So the reason for data safety is what? You need to help users to understand how your app collects and share their data, right? If you click on overview now, you can see, like before we go further, I need to take you guys to Google Play Store to show you guys what data safety means. Whatever information you show here now is going to be displayed to users on Google Play Store. Like, it's going to be displayed to them. They'll tell them, okay, this is the way your app data is collected or shared. So let me take you to one app on Google Play Store. So here is Google Play Store, and here is the Google Fit Activity Tracking app. So if you scroll down like this, you can see something like what? Data safety, right? You can see data safety here. So here is data safety, and they're going to explain everything about how the app collect data. So if you click on this, if you click on data safety to take you to the general data safety page for this particular application and how it collect data. Here is what? Google Fit Tracking Activity. You can see. So here is data safety, and no data is being shared with third parties. Data is collected like location, personal information, health and fitness, photos, videos, contact, app activity, app info and performance, device or other ID. So this one is the most important in most cases. Even though your app does not collect any type of data, it will ever collect device or other ID data. You understand? Even though your app does not collect any data, it will collect this one. So you can see here the security practices and the like. So is the data encrypted in transit? Is your data is what transferred over a secure connection? You can request that your data is deleted, right? So here is how it works. So this is what they mean by data safety, and they used to disturb a lot of developers for this. So you have to make sure your own app goes according to how your app do collect or share user data. You understand? So let's get back to Chrome. So here is it now. The first one is the overview, right? Overview. They will ask you, how your app do collect or share data. So you just have to click on next, right? So click on next. And now data collection and security. So you have to scroll down once again and then show them. Does your app collect or share any of the required data types? You have to click on yes. No matter the app you are creating in life, even though you are creating a calculator app, it's just a simple calculator app that does not collect any information. Just click on yes. Your app is collecting, a data, right? So click on yes. Is all the user data collected by your app encrypted in transit? You have to click on what? You can say, okay, if the app do encrypt in transit, you have to click on what? Yes, right? Yes. But in some cases, you can select no. So all the user data collected by app encrypted in transit? Click on yes. And now for this app, I'll click on yes. And now you can see the next question is what? Do you provide a way for users to request that the data is deleted? You can click on what? Yes. By deleting the app, that means they have deleted their data, right? So that's that. So we click on yes, and then the next button will be live for you to click on next. So click on next, and then you go to the next page to fill in the other details. The next detail is what? Data types. The type of data that is collected. You understand? The first one is what? They're asking whether it collects data or not. The second one is what? Data types. So now here is it. Does that collect like location data, like approximate location or precise location? Does that collect anything like personal information, like things like device, name, email address, user IDs, address, and the likes? No. So you can see personal information. My own app does not collect this data. But if you are building an application like a social media chat app, you need to select all those things there. Like the way I've shown you before. Financial app, like like financial information, user payments info, purchase history. If your app has this thing, what they call in app purchase, make sure to come here and click on all this information, because your own do collect credit card and the likes. So you can see health and fitness, messages, photos and videos, audio files and documents, calendar, contacts, app activity, web browsing, app information and performance. You can see this app does not it does not collect this all information at all. Like, if you want to collect, please make sure to select them. But my own does not collect any of the information there. I always collect the only thing that is compulsory that your app must collect is what we call device or other IDs, right? Device or other IDs. So click on the arrow. It's compulsory. So click on arrow, the drop down arrow, and then click on devices or other IDs. So click on that and to be selected. So now we have selected the devices or other IDs and click on next. So this is what you guys have not been doing, that most of your apps have been rejected. So you guys that are watching, you have seen now. This is what you need to select. You understand? So now here is the overview. Now the next page is the preview page. So we are currently the fourth page, which is data usage and handling. So now we are collecting this device and other ID. How are we collecting this data, and how is it being used? So devices or other ID. So we can see this bar. Scroll to this side. Scroll to this left side. Let's scroll to this, and you're going to see one little arrow. So click on this little arrow and it will take you to the page when you tell them how do you handle the data. So now you can see collected. Is the data collected or shared? So I really advise you guys, if you select on collected now, sometimes Google they'll just go out of their mind and they'll say, okay, you will say collected and it is still sharing the data. So what you need to do is select both of them, right? Select both of them, because it has happened to me a lot of time. I'll select only collected, but at the end of the day they'll send me an email that they have rejected my app because my app shared data. So now just click on select both. Select both of them, that is collected and shared. Whenever you click on collect, make sure to click on what? Shared, right? So that's what it does not mean anything. Just make sure to give them the information. Now we have clicked on collected and shared. You need to scroll down and they'll ask you, is this data collected or processed? I mean, the data that is collected, is it processed ephemerally? I don't even understand the meaning of this ephemerally. So you can see, I'll just click on no. This data collected is not processed ephemerally. So I'll click on the other one, which is the second option. Now scroll up. And you can see they'll ask you, is this data is this data required for your app, or can your users choose whether it's collected or not? This data is required, and users cannot turn off this data collection. You can see, so I'll click on this one. Users cannot turn off the data collection. That one is automatically. Like no matter app you are using, like if you direct an application, for example, now the application will know the name of your device. That's just the whole thing. So we are not getting access to this device or this data. So just click on that. Data collected is required and users cannot turn off this data collection. And now you have to go down. That is, you are done with collection. So you go down here and they'll ask you for the data that is shared, right? So here is data collection. We are still on data collection. I mean, you can see the data that is collected. Why is it collected? We just say the data is collected for what? Only for app functionality. You can see, and app analytics. Right, because if let's assume, okay, you want to, like, if you go to Google Play Store, for example, and you start seeing the data that is collected, you say, okay, this Samsung Galaxy, this Xiaomi phone, this itel. So you're going to know, okay, for you to know the analytics of your app. So functionality and analytics, right? So you have to click on those two. And then if your own is for any others, you can click on others. Like if you collect user data for advertisements, if you want to like advertise some product to people, like if you collect their name, or let's assume you are trying to like build banner ads in your app, that means you want to like promote something for company, right? And you want to know the type of people that are using your app, if they are from Nigeria or not. So you can collect, if you do collect their country or their precise location, that means you're going to select advertising or marketing, because you are trying to advertise to them in a particular country. So you have to scroll down, and then you can see, and they'll ask you, now we are done with collection. They'll ask you that the data that is being shared, why is the data being shared? We'll say, okay, the data is shared is shared for app functionality, and what is shared for app analytics. So I'll click on this two also again. And then if your own is shared for like developer communication, like if you're using something like OneSignal or Firebase to run push notifications to your app users, make sure you click on developer communication, right? So if your own is to run those type of adverts for companies, then make sure to click on advertisement and marketing, because you are collecting or sharing data for all those. I've clicked on why is it that now? I've clicked on and for app functionality. Now that you have selected the app functionality and app analytics, you can see that the save button is now live, and then that's that. So now this is what they mean by data safety for a general app. If your own app is a normal earning app and it does not do this data collection, then just make sure to select app functionality and app analytics for the both. That is for both data collection and data shared. So you can see we need to check what we have selected before, and we can now click on save. You can see, let's click on save. Once you click on save, it will now save your data safety form, because it's going to determine whether your app will be accepted or rejected. So now you can see the status of this is now completed. You can see our device or other IDs is completed. You can click on next, and once you click on next, now you can continue. We can now continue publishing. So here is the preview of the whole stuff. You can see here is the preview of the data safety page on Google Play Store, and here is it. You can go and read the preview for you to know the type of data collected or shared. How the data is being collected or shared using your app. and then from there you can just click on continue. So now the next thing for you to do is simply to click on submit, right? Click on submit to submit your data safety form. And I bet you guys, if you can do this for your app, that is your earning apps, to Google Play Store, you get accepted, and you can see your changes have been saved. So it will I guarantee that your app is going to be accepted to Google Play Store with this particular data safety guy.
That's that for it. If you really enjoyed the video, please make sure to give it a like and also subscribe and share this video with your friends so as for you to help them out, because without this your app will not be approved on Google Play Store. I'll catch you guys in the very next video. Peace out.